All right, welcome back. Now, we continue to discuss the extraordinary recent events, of course, in Zimbabwe and looking at the way forward. Joining us is Blessing Vava, who is a political analyst and research fellow at Wits University, China Africa Reporting Project. Good morning once again. Let's just focus a little bit on the system. I mean, many analysts are saying that there won't be that much change in Zimbabwe now because of the current system that's still in place, looking at the militarization of the state institutions as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as many are saying that it's one thing to remove an individual and it's another to remove the system of governance. So it's yet to be seen if ZANU-PF has the political will to correct the injustice of the past, to correct what's happening, especially if you look at the state institutions that have been militarized, for example. But I am very skeptical, not to say that I'm too pessimistic to it, but yes, I'm being cautious in the way that I'm looking at the happenings in Zimbabwe. It will take a while for us to see a transformation of the whole system. I know that Zimbabweans think that probably it's something that's going to happen today, but I'm sure very soon reality will be dawning on many Zimbabweans that it was not just Mugabe who was the problem, but it was the system of governance that was created and entrenched in our society, in our government since 1980.
As we've seen many Zimbabweans here at home in South Africa saying that they will all flock back home. So you're saying that for now it won't help them because the current economic status in Zimbabwe remains the same?
I think for Zimbabweans that are here, I know it's, the euphoria which usually comes with such events. I would advise them to be cautious, to take a wait-and-see approach and see what's going to be in place the next 6 months. In fact, the next 3 months will be quite telling on the direction which the country will be taking. So it might be too early, because if to say people are going back to Zimbabwe today, what has changed? What has simply changed is a rearrangement of chairs at the dinner table of the ruling party, where Mugabe has just been removed and replaced by another individual. But the system has remained in place.
All right. The issue of corruption, do you think corruption would be arrested with the new leader now coming in place? I mean, this is someone who has also been fingered in corruption. We had the former youth leader of ZANU-PF yesterday, AC Lumumba, who was basically saying that corruption is an order of the day within ZANU-PF.
Well, corruption is in the DNA of ZANU-PF. It was not just President Mugabe, but we also see the incoming president, Emmerson Mnangagwa. He has been named, especially his involvement in the DRC during, the DRC war, the reports of his vested interests, corrupt activities happening there. Also, the mining of diamonds in Chiadzwa, we see his name also propping up. And quite surprisingly, that people who were, reading the charge sheet of President Robert Mugabe, Obet Mpo, for example, is one individual who has been named in various cases of corruption. And from 1980, we are yet to see any official that has been arrested with corruption, that has been convicted of corruption. Yes, we read these papers in the newspapers, but no one has been brought to trial, and no one has been charged to trial. In fact, being corrupt in ZANU-PF has become fashionable.
Yeah, and the main question, of course, is will Mnangagwa be able to get rid of corruption? Well, let's hold a thought right there. Blessing Vava, political analyst who's a researcher and a research fellow at the Department of China Africa Reporting at Wits University, of course, analyzing the developments in Zimbabwe for us here. He's here with us the entire show, so we'll continue our discussion with him. But now,